Hello, this is the course of Information System Development, and in this course I would like to explain about Django deployment. So you already learned how to um, build a website, and you know how to connect to the database, and you know how to connect to your data through the JavaScript, through the Ajax, and etc. And now it's the time for you to publish your website. Okay. So there are many ways for publishing the website for this Django deployment. So we call it, this is the deployment. So I would like to teach you only the basic ways. Of course, you can use any other ways, but this is only the basic way for this course. And yeah, of course, you can try later with this simple way, and there is no such obligation to use this way, and you can try to use other methods, or you can use other formal website in order to deploy your Django project. Okay, so I would like to start with the web server. Okay, what is web server, and some definition and concept. And yeah, we are going to learn what the simple hosting with Django, and yeah, we are going to learn how to host with the web server. So we are going to learn about web server and simple hosting with Python command, and then we are going to hosting with local, which is using the tool named Laragon. And I'm going to also teach you how to globally uh, deploy the project with web server. And in this case, we can use Laragon and Grok. So what is web server? So based on the definition, a web server is a server software, or it is a hardware is dedicated to run a particular software or framework to satisfy the World Wide Web client requests. So whenever you are a client and you want to access a web, okay, you need to get some access to a web server, and your website should be in the web server in order to be accessible from other. And that kind of things, yeah, requires a web server either in your own computer or in the cloud or anywhere. Okay, so primary functions of web server is to store the web pages, process requests from clients, deliver or show web pages to clients. And there are many kind of web servers, that the basic idea of the web server is to put your file in the local computer. Okay, of course, you can do with like Amazon Web Service, or you can use the like Google application engine. Okay, so those stuff are available, but of course you need to pay some money if you want to access, and if you want to store your data there. In because it is only for just for the educational purpose, I do not want to use those kind of commercial technology, so we just like use the very simple way to deploy. And yeah, as I mentioned to you, to be accessible from external sources, we need to open the access or install a software. Okay. And for our course, this PowerPoint will show you how to host via the Django framework. And yeah, we are going to host also from local access and for the global access. The first, we are going to learn how to do the simple hosting with Django. Okay, so the Django requires a static public IP address. Okay? And yeah, you can just do with the public IP address in order to show your web. Okay? And if you're using Wi-Fi, it is inaccessible. Okay, so you need to have one static IP address in order to use the web, and in order to deploy your project. Okay. First, you need to check your IP address, and then after that, you need to set up the settings, and then you can run the server, and then you can execute your web browser from client. Okay. let's pause to do this one. Check the setting. Okay, so I think I just can try to start one more CMD. Okay, so with the CMD, this one, you can try to do the IP config. Okay, so I'm using Wi-Fi here. Okay, so it is a temporary IP address. So you can see right, this one. This is the IP address. Yeah, but because it is a Wi-Fi, then I don't care actually with this kind of Wi-Fi. But you will need this one later. Okay, and after this, you need to update the setting.py. Okay, so you need to find where is your file. So in my case, I put in my file folder users, and I have the PyCharm projects. Okay, so I have the basic REST. For example, let's go to the basic REST. Okay, so basic REST is the last part we learn about the Django. So we just go to the basic REST, and then you know that the settings.py is available in the folder basic REST, and let's open this. Okay, let's open the setting.py, and you can find somewhere, okay, this one. Okay, I already put my IP address. This is the IP address according to this IP config 192.168.1.140. Okay, so just put here with the code. Okay, so just put with the code like yeah, this one I already mentioned. This one, for example, if you have this IP address, then you can just put on the load host with the IP address in your Wi-Fi or in your, yeah, LAN environment or in your internet environment. Okay, so in my case, yeah, I put this stuff. Okay, and after you have this one, okay, after you already set in the settings.py, now you need to again go to the CMD. Okay, because in my case, I guess I use Anaconda Prom, I guess. Okay, so let me check. Oh, okay, I will. Okay, I will use this one first. Okay, so you need to know where is your folder. Okay, so where is your folder that contains the manage.py. Okay, so in my case, yeah, this is the link user PyCharm project basic REST. Okay, and I will use this one. So you need to find where is your folder, where is your project. Okay, and after I know this, let's just put cd. Okay, you know, cd is the change directory, and then go to the directory that you have, especially when where you put the manage.py. Okay, after you have the file folder, then you can run with this idea. Okay, so yeah, just execute this one. Okay, okay, I guess I don't have this one, so I need to, yeah, I need to run with the Anaconda Prom. In my case, yeah, it is the Django is available here. Okay, so let me do one more time. So this is the, yeah, this is the case, and then I will just use this one, and then Python manage.py run server 0.0.0.080. So yeah, I have this one, and you can check this. Okay, how it works. So yeah, you can start with this one. Okay, let's see if I run this. Oh, this is nothing. So you need to know what is your IP address. Okay, before I have the IP address as this one, so I'll just use this one with the with the number of port. Oh, I guess I can just do directly this one. Yes, okay. So I just call the IP address. Okay. If yeah, it depends on your IP address. The IP address belongs to this code, and then in the basic REST you have three different link which refers to admin or API or CRUD. So if I call the API, then yeah, you will see the API with this kind of JSON format. Okay, so doing this one is easy. Okay, so you just try to find the IP address, whether you are in the Wi-Fi connection or you are in the LAN or the local area network connection. You can just use the IP address, and then you can just connect to internet, and everyone can access this one. As long as you open the access, then yeah, anybody can access this one from everywhere. But of course, there will be a risk. Okay, there will be a risk. Why? Because it is only the IP address. It's very risky. Okay, when there are many issues when you open your IP address, it lost the hacker, or it lost to other parties to connect to your computer easily, and they can just broke up to your computer and they can do something bad to your computer. So the security risk is an issue. And there's another issue about the performance. Of course, the performance is very slow if your computer, okay, your computer is not a computer server. So the spec is not good for the server. Then, yeah, of course, it will raise some issues. Yeah. So using simple hosting is good for only testing purpose. So if you want to test, then yeah, it's good. But if you want to do a real project, then you may not use this idea. So the other way to do the solution is first you need to install a web server. Okay. Web server for production is necessary. It means you need to find a good software for your production. And the other way is to put your development code on a cloud. So as I mentioned to you, you can just use the Amazon Web Service, or you can use the Google Cloud Platform, and etc. There are many cloud, but for this course I will not explain the cloud, so I'm just giving you one way to do the deployment with the web server. There are many web server available in the world nowadays. You can use Apache. Okay, so Apache is the most famous uh, web server. The second one is Nginx. Nginx is one of the popular web server, and the third number three is the IIS. IIS is from the Microsoft. If you have your Windows OS, Windows operating system, then you can use the IIS automatically because it is based on Windows. Okay. So finding a good server software is necessary. So if you are familiar with Apache, then you can use Apache. If you're familiar with Nginx, you can use Nginx. If you are familiar with the IIS, yeah, you can use IIS. Every web server has their own way to control and monitor. So you need to familiar with those languages. Of course, it is new kind of languages. Yeah. And yeah, among the web servers, there are many other like XAMPP or WAMPP, AMPPS, MinLam, and etc. So those are also the kind of server, and you can just use it for free. Yeah. So the internet just give you with the um, way to install and how to control in your computer. But unfortunately, some of them may require like heavy computational, or they need a high performance computer. Okay? So for our course, I would like to recommend to use Laragon. Okay? Laragon is one of the option for the local development, especially if you are using a very simple laptop, or if you're using a desktop that is not a good server. So web server requires a very good specification of computer, but using Laragon, I guess it is enough for you to test in your laptop. So web server for local development with similar function to others, such as like you can just do automatically create virtual hosts, and you can upload your files in the internet, and everyone can access to your project later. Okay. And you can use also for mail catcher and mail sender, and you can simple switching Apache, PHP, MySQL, MariaDB. So those kind of things are available in Laragon. So let's go toward the Laragon. And yeah, I'm sorry if you are using the other kind of operating system. For example, if you're using Mac or if you're using uh, Linux, for example. Okay, this Laragon is currently only for Windows, but I saw there are some developers try to adopt the Mac OS and Linux for this kind of Laragon. So first, yeah, if you're using Windows, then you can just download it. Okay, let me open this one. So it's laragon.org is modern and powerful, easy operation, productive, portable, fast, and blah blah blah. Okay, so this is one of the good resource for the web development. And when you download, okay, so there are options like this one: full or light or portable. Okay, i I recommend you to download the full one. Okay, so I already installed in my computer. Okay, so if you please install the full one, 130 megabyte, and once you install it, still require more memories, like maybe about 400 or some, yeah, about 500, 500 megabyte, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so after you download it, then just install. Okay, when you install your Laragon, okay, just install in your C drive. Okay, so this is the installation process. Okay, so the first is this introduction about the Laragon. I guess your Laragon later will be on 4.0.16. Okay, and when they ask you about this destination, okay, so make sure that you just, yeah, for the testing purpose, just use the C and C backslash Laragon. So that's the folder that you want to access the folder. And then, yeah, just click everything here. You just want to run Laragon when the Windows start, and you can use the auto virtual host. Then you can use the Notepad++ and terminal to the right click menu. Okay, just put this one, and yeah. After you finish with the Laragon, yeah, because I already have my Laragon in my computer, so I don't need to install it. So please install your Laragon in your computer. Okay. After you install the Laragon, okay, you will see the Laragon something like this one. Okay. So with this kind of Laragon environment, after you already installed, you will see this one, and then you can just start all. Okay. So after you start, and you can see here is the button now is changing to stop. It means if you want to stop, just click the stop. But before we continue to the next, okay, I would like to inform you about the Django installation. So you need to go to the terminal, okay, to click the terminal. So in this terminal, okay, because I already have the, okay, let me just start from the beginning, okay. Okay, so I already have the terminal. Yeah, I already have my testing here. And you can go to this items, okay. So you can just go to the web in order to check about the way to install Django. So you need to go to the Laragon terminal, and then you need to install Django. So once you install the Django, okay, you go to the terminal. Yeah. Yeah, because I already have this basic REST. Okay, actually, I see you just can uh, okay, you can install the Django via IP install Django. Okay, yeah, in this case all already set up because I already install all the environment in my computer. But in your case, you may need some time to install this one, and especially the Laragon itself, it requires some time to download and it requires some time for the installation. So please do those kind of things because it will be helpful for you. Okay. And after you do with this installation with Django, I guess you also need to have this library. Okay, please remember that the Laragon is one of the web server and it also requires more libraries because the basic libraries in Laragon is the same with the basic library in Python and the Django for the first time. Okay, so basically there is nothing, no additional library. So you need to put the additional library like the Django REST framework and fit parser that we are using in the basic REST. Okay, so you can just do next with this one. Okay, pip install Django REST framework. Okay, so okay, in my computer everything already set up because I already installed it, and the next is just install the fit parser. Okay, when you install the fit parser, it's the same. Yeah, you just get those libraries from the internet, and because I already have that one, so everything is here. So after you have the all these libraries, okay, yeah, just to remind you that your folder will be in the C, okay, and you can just put everything in the folder Laragon. Okay, so this is the installation process, and then this is the first environment. And now, if you are using the Laragon, if you already start this one, okay, if you want to check the local host, yeah, you can see this one. It means this Laragon has been set up, and this is the first page of this Laragon. Okay, and this, how can the server access this file? Okay, so you can have, okay, because I already have this file in my computer. Okay, so I just go to C, and then okay, I have one folder Laragon. I can connect to this Laragon, and you can go to the www. Okay, so I have this one, the index.php. Okay, so if you want to check what is the index.php, yes, this is the first page of the Laragon. Okay, so we are using the first page of the Laragon, and then yeah, I guess if you are the first time to use the Laragon, you will not see those two packages. So I will delete this my side because it is just one of my testing. So the basic REST here is from the basic REST that I use in my PyCharm. So I have the basic REST. So in my PyCharm project, I have basic REST. So this basic REST here, you can just copy and paste for all. Okay? You can just copy this one, and you can just copy this one, and then you can put those into the basic REST in the Laragon. So there is the file, folder Laragon www. Okay, and let's suppose if I delete this one. Okay, oh, yeah, okay, it's already connected to the file. Okay, it's already connected to the Laragon, so I cannot delete that part. So if you are the first, then just go and then connect to that file. Yeah, just copy and paste. Yeah, so in this case, you just copy and paste to here, and after you paste, then you will see the basic REST, and this basic REST will have the same structure with the folder you already had in the PyCharm project. Okay, So the basic REST, post, static, templates, crew, testing data, DB, SQLite 3, manage.py. Okay, so everything is the same with the folder that you have in the PyCharm project, but the only difference is we are putting this in the Laragon. So we are going to publish it in the Laragon way. Okay, so we want to publish the basic REST, and then you can go to the basic REST and copy all the contents, basic REST, and paste into the designated folder of Laragon project. So it is in the www. Now, let's start with the Django. Okay, in some cases you need to run migrate on a project. I guess in my computer I don't need to run the migrate, but I don't know in your computer. If it is necessary, then just run the migrate. And then let's if I in case, okay, I already start the server and just start all. Okay, and now you are going to run with the Laragon. Okay. So there is Django in Laragon. If you already run Laragon, okay, like this one, okay, you can see this Laragon file, but if you want to access the API, okay, not found. So Django cannot run. Why? Okay. You may not be able to run Django properly. For running Django, you need to execute from the respective project. Okay. That's why when you run already the Laragon, so open the terminal. Okay. In my case, this one is the terminal. Oh, I guess I just, oh, where is one? Okay, let me open the terminal one more time. Okay, I have this terminal, and then let's say I'm using this one. This I just close this one. Okay, the first the first comment that you can see is like this one: C in the Laragon and www. And in this case, this is only the main page, or this is only the index. I want to connect to the basic REST. So the basic REST is the folder that we already used in the previous chapter. And if you write the CD basic REST, then we are going to the basic REST, this one. Now, after we go to this basic REST, you can try to run. Okay. So it takes some time, and yeah. Now you can see there is one link. It's very similar with the PyCharm. So you can just put on this web. Okay. And yeah, the result is the same. So if you go to the API, then you will see this API. So in this case, you can use the Laragon in order to publish your website locally. So locally means, yeah, you can just put this as your IP address, and then you can access through your computer, through your own computer, but other people from the client side or from the other computer cannot access it. Okay, in the case if you need to migrate, then you can just use Python manage.py migrate. Yeah, this is the way to access that one. And yeah, there will be some other way to connect with the global purpose. The Laragon provide a secure tunnels to localhost for the security purpose. There is one function in the Laragon, we call it encroc. Okay. So if you are using the encroc, there is a free plan with a random domain URL or ports using encroc. If you want to customize, subdomain with a paid plan, it means you need to pay some money for creating your host. Yes, so available. For example, you want to create the HTTPS is the dashboard.encroc.com. Yeah, maybe this encroc is not that good, okay, but yeah, this is an option. It's not that expensive. Okay, and now I'm going to teach you just using the free plan. Okay, You can open the terminal and then, oh, okay, I guess I need to run with the 8000. Okay. So I already have this one. Yeah, the server has been run probably, and let's make a new terminal. Actually, yeah, this is the terminal. Oh, you can make a new one. Okay. So you can make a new one, and let's say if I just want to cancel, so you can press Control C. Okay, Control C, then it will stop. Now I'm going to run this ngrok http 8000. Okay, I'm going to see this one, ngrok http 8000. So ngrok means the application name, http means you want to access to the http, and 8000 means the port number. Okay, when you click OK, it will automatically generate one link. This is the link. Okay. So this is just using the http, and the other link is using the https. And you can see the session expired in 7 hours, so it's very limited. Okay, so I'm just using this one in order to show how the deployment can work. After you have this one, yeah, actually if you go this, and then if you check this one, something wrong. Okay, so something wrong with this one, I guess. Oh, something wrong with this one. Okay, so I'm going to check this one. Okay, so this one is, yeah, randomly generated. Okay, so using this random generated, actually you need to figure out the setting. Okay, there are two ways in order to allow the other people to access from the external browser. So the first is to update a configuration file. So there's one configuration file here, and you need to update this one. The other is to update the setting file, the settings.py. So I'm just going to teach you how to update the settings.py. Okay, because the other way is not that flexible. Of course, this one also is not that flexible, but yeah, this is free. Yeah, so you can just use anytime. So I will just do it the number 2. I will just change the setting.py. If you require the step number 1, yeah, like you can ask me. Okay, so you can just send email, and then I can teach you how to deal with the number 1. But just choose the easiest one. In the ngrok, the same with the previous, with the simple hosting with the IP address, we need to define what host name that allow to access. So now I'm having the project in the Laracon, and I can go to the setting.py. Okay, I can just open this. Okay, this allowed host is empty. Okay, that's why there's an error. So I cannot access this one because there is no tunnel connection. So the tunnel connection has been blocked because the Django cannot understand this address. Okay, so in order to run your Django in this address, so you need to use the same URL given by the ngrok. So let's go to the ngrok. Okay, I think not this one. Yes, this one. So it is a kind of uh, random number, D7, D something something something. So we need to put this one into the allowed host. Okay, so you need to give this one. It means whenever you access your Django, the settings.py can understand that this link is the legal link to access your file. So that's why it's very secure in order to use the Django, secure for your company, secure for yourself, and secure for everyone. Okay. Now, after you have this one, I guess we need to reload, okay, in order to get the idea. So just reload here. After you reload this, and then let's try again. Hopefully it works. Oh no, it doesn't work. What happened? Actually, it should work. Yeah, it doesn't work. Or maybe I need to. Yeah, there's a bad gateway. What does it mean? I see. I think it's already done with this one. Okay, let me do one more time. Okay, so the encrypt with the HTTP 8000. Then let me just use this one again one more time. So I need to update this code. So this is the settings.py in the environment, and then let's use the API. Not secure. Let me think. Okay, I guess I need to check one more time with the encrypt. Okay, so let me just encrypt HTTP again with the port 8000. So I have this encrypt. Okay, so this encrypt should be in the settings.py. I will update this one. Okay, so now the settings.py allowed house becomes the same ID did this one. And okay, now you can access the URL, this URL. Oh, this one already okay, but I want to show you this one. Okay, failed to complete tunnel connection. So in this case, because we need to open the tunnel after we already set the setting. So the setting, it means the setting, it requires the HTTP link, and the other way, you need to also put the run server. Okay, so you need to run server, the Python manage.py run server. So make two different command prompt. Okay? So in this case, you will make a new run server, because after you have this encrypt, you need to again manage.py run server. The URL will be different when you restart the Apache server. So whenever you run the encrypt, the number will be randomly generated. So it will be always different. So it requires the update in the settings.py every time you set up the Laragon. So every time you start a Laragon, the number will be changed. So if you use the paid plan, you can customize the subdomain, or you can utilize other tools such as local tunnel from the NPM. So if you know how to use the NPM is another library, then it will be easier to manage the local tunnel. But for now, I just use this one. Okay. So after I run the ngrok, and then after I rerun again the server in the Python manage.py run server, so I can try with this. Yes, this well, okay. It means you need to run the server of the basic REST, and then you need to do the ngrok. So the ngrok will be the tunnel, okay, the tunnel that you can access for the web that you run in Django. Okay, so I guess that's all summary. Okay, so we have the host application with the web server, And in this lecture, I just give you a simple hosting. You can just use the built-in function from Django and Python. And for the production setting, it is necessary to use a web server, and it's necessary to generate a secure URL for publishing the website. And this course, because it is just a very simple idea about the Django, so I don't teach a lot of things for this web server. And as I mentioned to you, feel free to use any other web server for your application. Okay, so thank you very much for joining this video, and see you on the next video.